Hello, good morning, have a nice day. I've been doing some checking last night. I had to do a lot of checking. Our government is about as perfect of example of incompetency that I could have imagined. Right now, I can tell you, if Obama was in charge of a unit underneath me, he would be right now answering to my superiors. I would have placed him on report for doing an extremely incompetent job for the position he was holding. He's not capable. Now, why do I say that? See, I guess one reason why military personnel make great presidents is because we know two things. We know how to lead and we know how to serve at the same time. And also we know what our responsibility is and how to carry out the job that is needed. Obama has no idea in any of those aspects. We know how to sit back and look at something and evaluate it so we get a true picture. Obama is incapable of doing that. We know how to assess the situation and take action to prevent it from happening. Again, Obama and Congress is incapable. Congress is supposed to be incapable. Congress is supposed to be slow. You know, Congress, the opposite of progress. But that's not the case for the president. It's up to the president to be a leader. It's up to the president to be accurate. It's up to the president to be able to foresee and, to the best of his ability, avoid the problems that would come along with the position of serving and protecting the people. He is totally incapable. And the ultimate of his incapacity to do his job is demonstrated in the southern border of Texas, in a town called Laredo. 2 farms on the outskirts. The Laredo officials are keeping it basically news blackout, so I don't have a lot of details to it. But they are doing something that, according to Section 4 of our Constitution, Obama's supposed to be able to be doing, not able to, must do, shall do, will do. He can't do it. He's incapable. He has no idea how to run a government. Let me read it to you. The United States shall guarantee, notice it shall guarantee, to every state in this union a republican form of government, and shall protect each of them against invasion and on the application of legislator, I stumble on that word, people, or an extreme executive when the legislature cannot be convened, against domestic violence. In other words, let me take about the legislature. I'm going to just take that out for you. But the United States shall guarantee for every state in the Union a republic form of government, and shall protect each of them against invasion and against domestic violence. No, he'd rather go to court and argue with a state of Arizona that They cannot do this job because it's my responsibility, but I am incapable of doing it. That's what he's actually showing the country. By Obama suing Arizona for their laws, he's admitting to the country he cannot do his job. He's incapable of being a president. He is a failure. Now, in the southern town of Laredo, Texas, a prime example of what has happened down there shows how incapable Obama is and how much of a failure he, as the President of the United States, has become. And the world will see him as such. What happened in Laredo is going to make our men in Afghanistan have to work harder. The repercussions of what happened in Laredo will put every military man throughout the world at risk. What happened in Laredo will take and make the mightiest nation in the world look like a weak, incapable, stumbling fool. Yep. What actually happened in Laredo that is will have such a world impact on the incompetency of our current president? Drug cartel crossed over the border and has taken over 2 ranches. The reason Laredo wants it blacked out is not to block the news, but they don't need thousands and thousands of people coming down there. The Laredo police force, the Texas Rangers, the state has the situation in control. So they don't need 100,000 or even 1 million militia to rush down there in their trucks and their cars and their campers and everything with their rifles to help them right now. If they did, they would call you publicly. You'd hear it all over the news. But the sad part about what happened in Laredo is it shows you how incompetent a man sitting in the White House right now is, who has no idea what leadership is all about. I mean, after all, look, he fired somebody because somebody in the news said something, and he didn't take time to check out the whole facts. He jumped on a police officer once because somebody in the news pointed out something, but he didn't take time to check out the whole fact. He jumped all over a town because somebody in the news said something, but he didn't take time to check out the whole facts. I'm sorry. History will show Obama for what he is. The Democrats, you're in Congress, you have an excuse to be a failure. Obama, people like you, sorry to say, don't belong where you are. You have no experience, you have no idea, you cannot perform the job that's needed. You are negligent. And if you were under my command, under me, I would have to bring you up on charges of negligence. I would not accept and could not accept such poor performance from an individual serving the people of the United States of America. Sorry. I respect the position of presidency, but the man has demonstrated how incapable he is to performing the job. At this point, I would have to remove him. Luckily, he's not in the military. He's not under my command. But unfortunately, like I in the military, who was serving the American people, he is serving the American people. And he cannot do the job.